It's actually a bit of a weird episode too.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss it. So, okay, Undoing, episode 4. Where we left off on episode 3, Jonathan, did he get out of jail? No, he didn't get out of jail
He
yet.
hadn't gotten out yet.
But they set his bail for $2 million. Which is like, I thought it was kind of like, really? Like, I mean, I know it was, they rich or whatever, but the way they set that bill was kind of like, I don't know, it just wasn't a big deal. Like, they made it seem like it wasn't a big deal. Like, he didn't do what
they tried to make it a statement, and usually with these kind of cases, the setting bail is usually a statement of how heinous the crime is. But it's like, oh, so it's $2 million. You got that?
Well, but not just that, it's just, usually they'll like have to plead this big case to the judge, and she was like $2 million, like it was like a
because
you know what I'm saying.
All the work had been done already. Like the woman said, he'd already proven himself a flight risk. So
right, that's what I'm saying. That too, where it makes you say, okay, you didn't turn yourself in at first. Why would you get bail now? You know what I'm saying?
Like I think it was just like I'm surprised that they even allowed it.
Okay, so at the end of the last episode, we got a little bomb dropped. Grace was by the crime scene, walking that night, and like I said before, as far as we knew, that she was went to sleep that night, but we started to find stuff out later that is more to her story. So first I thought something else. Now I think something else because I'm looking like, you a lying bitch. Because every time they come out with something, and now I'm more on the police side. First I thought he was like just being an a-hole and kept on bashing her. I'm like, man, leave her alone, man. She went home, went to sleep. Her husband cheated on her. Now I'm like, I see where he coming from 100% now, because every time they come out with some more evidence, she got some flimsy ass story explaining it.
And they keep trying to give her now. It's like, listen, maybe you didn't know what he was really about, and he convinced you to go along and do something more. Like, look, just let us know. Like, were you ever in the areas? Like, no, I wasn't. You gonna make me do it?
Right. She keep getting caught in lies, and she keep coming up with bullcrap excuses. I was taking a walk. In the middle of the night. Oh, that's what I do. Man, I'll lock her up too. Now I see why the cop be acting like that, because he feel like she either in on it or she knows something.
Yeah.
And she trying to hide him. That's why he been pushing her hard, because he feel like you guilty too.
Yeah.
You guilty of something.
Either you
I don't want no bush.
Either you're guilty or you're some kind of victim. But one way or another, you a part of this.
Yeah, and she's a smart therapist that's rich and hold down the job. And it's like, first I thought, oh, maybe she crazy, and maybe she be just like blacking out. No, I don't believe that no more. I believe she just a lying mother.
I actually believe more now that she's actually blacking out.
No, I think she just lying. You know why? Because they come to her with another thing where let me get to that, matter of fact.
Right.
So, okay, Jonathan get out of jail. Oh, well, let's talk about how that happened. She go to her. Now, remember I told you last episode she been trying to she been trying to prove his innocence. And I'm like, boy, you dumb. Because, I mean, not only did the dude cheat on you, but he got a whole family on the other side of town, and he killed her, and now he needs you to save his life. Kiss my ass. That would be my excuse. I mean, that would be my response. But so she trying to, she trying to prove his innocence or whatever. So she first of all she go to get a lawyer. I don't know the actress name. Somebody Fitzgerald, right?
Yeah.
So
can't think of what her name is.
Black British lady. She do a pretty good job. She's pretty much She pretty much what's her name? Like Olivia. Not Olivia Pope, but Viola Davis from How to Get Away with Murder. Pretty much.
I mean,
the British version.
She's a shark in a suit.
Yeah, and so she get hired by her, and she lying to her, and that's what killed me, because every time she probably like ready to quit this case, because some keep coming out, every time something come out, she got a flimsy excuse. What was the lie to her? That came out later about was it I can't remember. It was a lie, and she like, oh really? You ain't gonna? Oh no, I think it was about her walking by the crime scene.
Yeah.
I take walks. I know she like, look, this case getting harder and harder because y'all some lying, deceitful mother.
And they keep telling her to her face, I'm gonna tell you why no one believes you. Because you're rich, you're entitled, and you think you know so much.
Right.
People like you always lie to people like us.
Right.
Also, you just lied.
Yeah. So anyway, he said that she go to her dad to ask to pay for his bail. Now we already know her dad's stupid rich, but she need $2 million though.
I mean, he didn't have a problem pulling $500,000 out.
Yeah. So I mean, he is stupid rich. So he go ahead and put the bail up, but he want to talk to him first. You know, he give him this speech about, you know, if you run, you know, I'll hunt you down, kill you myself. Now I was thinking like, what you gonna do? But I guess you are rich, so you'll just pay somebody else to do it. You don't do it yourself. Right. Maybe I don't know if he needed to say that, but it would have helped me out if he would have just said it like that.
I just want you to remember, I got a lot of resources.
Right. If he would have said, you know, if you run, I got people that will come hunt you down and kill you 8 times over, whatever. Not I'll kill you myself. Like, what your old ass gonna do?
Like, now keep in mind, I'm paying your $2 million bail. I can easily use another $2 million to hunt your ass down.
Right, I could use that on put a bound on your head. There's people to do it for way less. So he get him out of jail, right? And I'm thinking like, okay, what's gonna happen now? So she's behind him now. Grace is like, oh, this is my husband. He's innocent. You know, they do a little TV interview. Now this is my problem with the Jonathan character. He's supposed to be charming. Well, he's supposed to be good looking and charming. First off, Hugh Grant was this guy. He is so old and haggard looking. He do not fit the character they want him to be. Because the reason why I say that, because they got him on the position where he's supposed to be so good looking and charming that convinces people to believe him.
So this is actually I have a different take on it. I think the way they wanted his character to play was someone who thinks he's that guy. And the people around him have allowed him to think he's that guy. So now that it's actually things are serious, everyone's like, you know you ain't Prince Charming, right?
Well, okay.
Because like the lawyer even hit him with that. Like,
no, I thought she was trying to fuck. Because she looked like she said like she was attracted to him the way she was talking to him.
She was playing it to see how he would react, and he almost fell for it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said, so did I pass your test? Barely.
No, you might be right about that.
And so like his character, he's that guy that's always the center of attention. Like they keep alluding to his need to be worshipped in the last couple of episodes. I think that's a very real pathological thing he's got going, and he's so used to people feeding his ego that now he doesn't know how to do the legwork.
I mean, you make some good points there. I read it as he was he's the older guy, but he's like, older, real handsome guy. And, that's where his vanity and his ego come from, where he got everything he wanted from because of his looks. And we get people like that. That you meet that you can just tell they are created. They're not born that way. It's because they get everything they want. Nobody can stay mad at them because of their looks and stuff. And we got girls that, the dumb blinds. I think a lot of girls, they're not dumb. They just never had to work for nothing, or they never had to figure nothing out because everybody was already doing something for them because they look so good. That after a while, they just start to kind of get stupid,
There's tools that they never had to develop.
Right. And I just feel like that's where they was going, where he just, so handsome, good looking that he got everything. He's just so used to it. And now you're in a position where you're not going to, nobody going to do shit. Everybody hates you now, and he couldn't handle that because once he get out of jail, the first thing he do is go and see the the husband of the person he's accused of killing. And I'm like, well, why did you do that? And I'm thinking the husband was gonna whoop his ass or something.
Yeah.
And I'm looking like, okay, dude, kind of either they trying to play him off as sympathetic or he just super weak.
One of the two.
Because I mean, well, first of all, he come in early. I want you to know I didn't do it, and I'm thinking like maybe because his vanity, he think, or his ego, he think he can convince him that he didn't kill her or whatever. What's the point?
Yeah.
You know, and his lawyer was pissed because rightfully so, because now he can't be used as a witness because now you're gonna say they're just gonna say he got paid off or he threatened him.
Yeah.
Either one or
One
two.
of the two.
Right. And it's like you just messed that whole part of her case up because you did that, you know, and because he thought he could, you know, do this. And then he's like, hey, you want to hold your baby? Oh, okay. You know, I was like, that part was a little, wow. I'm like, yeah, dude, you shouldn't beat her. But
So, all I'm saying is if he does get off, he knows he's paying that child support, right?
so, and even with the other, where the dad told the kid, go in your room, he just like, what? Either that kid in shock or he just, I don't know, maybe just they don't, you want to give him no, he won't say nothing.
No.
And I was like, is the kid just in shock? He talked before, right? I
Yeah.
can't even remember, but they just got this look on his face. I'm like, okay, enough with that. He can
But,
say
like,
something.
Even because like I've been wondering about that kid for a minute now because when we first see him the day he goes and finds his mom,
Mm-hmm.
he looks like he knows something's wrong. Like he like when his dad's like, yeah, she's in her studio. Like he looks like he's having a panic attack.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know if that's like a
Yeah, I think
pre-existing
maybe
thing.
the movie, maybe the show kind of make you feel, make you get a little doubt. Could it be him?
Yeah.
You know, and then you got the doubt with Grace walking by the crime. Could it be her? You know, and you know Jonathan guilty as hell, so we ain't even got to ask question. Could it be him? You know, but you know he go see her or whatever, and he go see him, and you know they have a little discussion. It don't really go. He seems like he want to be mad, but he's so weak nobody take him serious. You know what I'm saying?
He's a cuck.
Yeah, he is. And okay, so
And I hate having to say that, but it's true. Like he is a textbook definition cuck. Like he can't get mad at nobody because he doesn't have it in him to like come at somebody
Yeah.
with real base. You know.
yeah.
So it's like every time he'll start confronting someone. Well, do you want to hold your baby?
I would say if they didn't have this scene, I'd be like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was sleeping with Jonathan. He seemed like he was. That's why he was mad.
Like
That's my man.
'cause, like every other situation is like, okay, who else is he sleeping with? Is he sleeping with her lawyer friend?
Right.
Probably.
Right. We'll get to that. That
Yeah.
was one of my theories.
Is he sleeping with his lawyer? Probably. Is he sleeping with the husband? Probably.
And why people say that the lawyer's her friend daughter looks like Jonathan, like maybe that's his kid too. I was like, I'm like, boy, this dude, maybe he's sleeping with the lawyer.
Look,
He's
matter
sleeping
of fact,
with what's her name, Eleanor.
Eleanor.
So he's sleeping with Ellen and her husband and the lawyer. This
Look,
boy
you know what?
is-
Matter of fact, next time you drop that kid off at that school, just hand out some paternity tests. You know.
But anywho, no, they got he's out of jail and he like his goal is to prove his innocence, and so far not so good because I don't know, what's his goal is. Talking to him, like I said, he's messing up his own case.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's so vain that, and they offered him a deal, he didn't want to take the deal because he's so innocent. We're gonna talk about the TV interview, but before that, the police came back to Grace, and this was the thing I was talking about where they also found a painting of her.
An oil portrait. Like this is the kind of thing like you have to sit for at least hours, probably a couple of days.
Yeah, maybe she's a good artist, and maybe she so 'cause a lot of people saying, oh, she had to pose for that picture. Maybe she saw the picture maybe she took a picture on her phone or something.
That and
You know?
like when they were before she died, like everyone kept telling Grace she was looking at you hard.
Yeah, that might have been why
She might have been studying her
her
defender.
face. That
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Why she kept just like looking at her, because she's an artist and that's what they do, and they remember and they can draw from memory
Yeah.
like that. But maybe that could have been what it was. But the police was like, "Did you pose for her? Do you know her? We got her phone record. She called you like 20 times, and just the way she answered questions make me say, "Bitch, you guilty."
Because sometimes
I know
her
a lot of
answers are
people-
a little too specific.
I know a lot of people like. She's like, I don't answer phones. I don't answer numbers because it might be a telemarketer. Like she's like, she called you so many times,
I never talked with her on the phone.
right? And they's like, yeah, we know you never answered. It's like, yeah, it could be. I don't answer numbers I don't know because it could be a telemarketer. It just sounded like she had those answers prepared. You know?
Yeah.
Which I understand not doing that, but I'm telling you, if the same number keep calling my phone, I will answer
Yeah.
just so I can cuss them out.
Yeah.
I don't care if I got to cuss a telemarketer out, but if that number keeps popping up on my phone, I'm about to answer because I'm about to find out who the hell is this.
Either-
Telemarketers is always a
right.
different number every time.
Either somebody's trying way too hard to get in touch with me, so I need to know what's up,
Right,
or somebody's trying to get my ass.
right. So after a while, after I see that saying no, okay, I need to find out who this is. And if it's a telemarketer, this about to be your worst day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to go off. I'm about to snap. But that's making me more and more suspicious of Grace. Just the way she keep looking guilty to the police, and then her answers keep sound like something she pull out her ass. You know, that's just making me feel that way about her.
Well, and then there's that episode she had in the park.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes you wonder. Like, okay, something is wrong with her. Maybe it was just anxiety.
Well,
I don't
because
know.
also I look at that and that matches up really well with the opening for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have this little redheaded girl, playing with bubbles and stuff.
Yeah. I always skip the intro, so I don't know.
But like I had assumed that the little redheaded girl was Grace.
Right. Of course.
Gotta
be.
Duh. And so like I'm wondering if this doesn't tie in. Like we said the last episode, her dad keeps saying, you've always been kind of weak. You ain't built for all this.
Yeah. It's something going on with
So,
Grace mentally.
I do think there is some like severe disassociation going on with her, possibly psychosis, especially now because we keep seeing more and more evidence that she maybe had a little more relationship with Helena than she lets on.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if like she hasn't like hardcore blocked off some of this stuff,
Right.
and maybe that's why she's having this episode. It's like that stuff is trying to break its way back.
Right. And I agree with you, but what makes me suspicious of her, and where I'm like feeling like, okay, I'm not feeling like the cop's such an a-hole now, is it ain't like she don't remember none of this stuff. Every time they tell her she got an excuse, not I don't remember doing that. Oh, I did that, but this is why. And it sounds like some bull crap. Like,
Well,
really?
This is the thing. It's like I think this is why her excuses are always such BS, is because she hasn't crafted an excuse because she's just now like, oh crap, wait, I did do that. I completely forgot I did that. Why did I forget I do that? Why did I do that in the first place? And that's why she keeps pulling these horrible excuses out of her ass, because she didn't know she had something to need an excuse for.
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel you. It could go either way with her for me. But so let's talk about. So Jonathan wanted to plead his innocence. Where it was his lawyer's idea for him to do an interview, and he can tell his side of the story without cross-examination. I guess, and this will make me say this character is supposed to be a real good-looking guy, because that was kind of her plan when she kind of was looking at him, was like, yeah, he's so good-looking that it's hard to see he is looking. You fall in love with looking at him, that you won't feel like he lying. And I think that's where they were going with his character. But what's his actor name? I'm drawing a blank.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, yeah, I'm sorry. But Hugh Grant do not have that face anymore. He had that face in 1992.
It was
But in 2020, his face looked haggard and beat to shit.
I think what it was a pity play, because I think what the lawyer realized when they were talking was, if nothing else, no one believes this guy's story to the extent that he does. Whether he's lying to them or to himself, or if he's telling the truth, no one believes him like he does. And that's what she was banking on. Because he comes off as being genuine when he's talking.
Not to me.
But I mean, it's like, even if what he's saying sounds like some BS, it's like, this dude is not breaking character.
Only reason why I believe him is because that'd be too simple for the plot. But I would think he a guilty. I would think he a guilty son of a bitch if I was in this universe. I wouldn't believe nothing he said.
You know what it is?
Like, stop lying.
For me, it's to the point, and part of this is just the way the plot is a little contrived at times. It's just that it's too stupid not to be true.
Wait, so, and you know, I just I disagree with your analogy on that. The reason why she wanted to do it, and I just believe that she think that Americans is going to fall in love with him, and that's what's going to help get him off. But like I said, I believe this character, and maybe I never read the book, the character written in the book as a middle-aged, very handsome man that people like when they immediately see. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt kind of looking guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I said, Hugh Grant used to be that guy. He just did not age well.
Well, if nothing else, one thing she did say, I will say it's just good sense, was, look, this stuff is public, it's in the news, so we need to get you out there. If we can get somebody on your side.
Yeah. So, and when he do his interview, you know, I thought he was bad at that too, because he's not charming. He's not that good talker that impresses me. And he didn't seem like he did good on that. I was like, I mean, I know that's part of I'm not saying the actor didn't do good, but the character.
They wanted him to come off as flawed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought that his character would be so good. I don't feel like he could convince people. I just feel like I don't see the character that they putting out.
I'm wondering if the
character
whole
of him being like, oh, I can convince people. I can sell, I can sell ice to Eskimo. I can sell heat to servers in the desert.
So this, I think actually that might be the point. Is
I don't see it.
Getting hit to the point of saying he's not some supervillain. He's not this guy who's going to convince you to sell out your own grandma for $1.50. He's just a guy. Like, don't look at him as some rich dude who's always had everything handed to him, or do if you want to, but just don't think of him as some evil supervillain who had this all planned out and is trying to get away with it. This is just a guy. If he did it, it was in a fit of passion. If he didn't, then he just wants someone to find out what really happened. He's just a guy.
Guess what? He failed.
Well,
and I would say, and all your stuff makes sense, but what I would say he failed is he felt like, to me, he was more guilty when he talked.
Well, because he sounds like he's on a script,
No, he just sounded like a guilty motherfucker trying to lie.
Well,
to me,
that's the same thing.
Well, see, I wanted to be impressed. I wanted him to. Well, I thought he was gonna get on the interview and maybe like, oh shit, I believe him, man. That's my homeboy. I thought he was gonna wow me so much that I believe him. Leave my dude alone, man. Y'all just mean. Y'all just picking on him. Well, no, I'm like, no, he guilty. Fuck him.
Part of that is just the realism of the scenario, which is none of these people ever come out like, oh man, he was telling the truth the whole time. It's always some messy stuff. But the one thing that really got me, and it made me want to like get up and punch him in the face, when he's looking at the camera saying, I think I know who did it.
Yeah, that's where they left it off at.
Like, you mother.
And the way he was answering, I'm like, is he okay? It's like one of them, somebody talking, which I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I lose my train of thought, and people will be looking at you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you saying now? You got my attention, motherfucker. Now, This is your turn to say what the hell you got to say before I dip off and do something else. and he was like, just, I guess he was trying to be choked up or whatever, but he just sounded like a motherfucker trying to come up with a lie to me. That's my thought.
I will, because like that last bit when he's like, and I think that. Go ahead. Oh, I think that maybe, yeah.
Stop lying. That's what I'm saying. I just thought he did a shitty job, and I think he made his case worse. But I think their intention was to be wild people and get people on his side. But I think it just didn't didn't come across right to me.
Okay, I'm still gonna say I think the whole point was for them to show that he was just shitty at being a person. You know,
Well, see, I thought it was gonna be you're a good liar, and you convince people that you didn't do it. That's what I wanted, and I didn't get that.
because it's kind of like this whole story in a nutshell is he's not a good liar. He just didn't need to be,
Man,
because she's just blind.
yeah, I guess you're right. He didn't gotta be a good liar because she just wanted to believe. I think she blocked out what she only see what she wanted to see or something. But we'll get that later. It's 2 more episodes. It's only 6 episodes. It's a miniseries, so we'll see. But yeah, they ended on that interview, and I think, I mean, of course, for the story, he's telling the truth. But he looked like he was lying to me, man. I was like, I'm cool on this dude. He said he think he know who it is, and I was like, is he gonna throw his wife out under the bus? It felt like he's about to say, I know it is.
That's what it looked like.
It's that man right there.
And wait, look, and he's gonna be like, well, I think that whoever did do it needs to get the help that they need.
After she did all that for you, you just gonna put her off, throw her on the bus. I think maybe he might have been. I thought maybe he gonna say the husband or something. I mean, that's the only other suspect, but either that they have not presented is either the only suspects they possibly presented, which I think is very flimsy. The dad, the husband, Grace.
Yeah.
Is there any other people that could have done it?
Like,
or Jonathan, but other than Jonathan.
Maybe if you really want to stretch it, you can put the son in there.
Yeah, I just don't think he could have done it.
I don't mean either.
I mean, they could do that because he seemed like a little cold little
They have
dude.
to put a little more legwork in to put him on the list.
But I mean, I'm thinking like they said her face was smashed in, and he's only, he's kind of a small kid. I just don't see him having enough strength to do that. He could probably beat her head in, but I mean, I feel like it had to be a full grown adult to do that. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, one of the scenes
I'm ready to exclude the child.
Yeah, one of the scenes I really disliked, and this was they had Grace and Jonathan's son watching a news report, and the news anchor said, "Are you kidding me? He liquefied her face."
Yeah, well, not the news anchor. It was a lady that was actually she was complaining that he shouldn't have got bail.
Yeah,
it was white privilege and all this stuff. I'm like, we going there?
Right,
and then. This is said. And actually, she said something, but I didn't think about race. But I just thought about, whoa, that bail was just kind of like whatever for a heinous crime like that, you know. And then when she explained, when she talked about it, it's like, yeah, her face was liquefied that they beat her face. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that would get no bail.
Like, especially since he's
sometimes
already run away.
Yeah, you're right, that too. OJ didn't get bail. Why would she get bail? So anyway, that was the episode, man. That was episode 4. We'll see. We getting there. Like I said, the main suspects to me is either the Grace, the dad, or the husband, and maybe we. The lawyer ain't showed that she could have done anything, but I feel. I still got my eye on her for some reason. Because you don't, first off, why would you hire her knowing that's your white friend? She ain't just a lawyer. That's your wife's friend.
Like, I would even say if he had just said, hey, look, can you recommend somebody?
Yeah, right. No, he hired her, and then she didn't tell her. It was confidential. Really? You see me every day or whatever at school, and you can't tell me.
Well, like also to some extent, she's entitled to some confidential information as his wife.
And right, as his wife, right? But whatever, that's her excuse. That's what make me think it's something going on between him and her, just because that was just peculiar.
Because I'm thinking she might.
Why do we need her if? Why they seem like they integrate her in the story slowly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
First off, I'm pretty much convinced that she took that case pro bono.
Hey, hey.
Yeah. I was proud of that one. I hope y'all like that one.
So anyway, we gonna move on, man. That is our review for the Undoing episode 4. Be on the lookout next week for episode 5. All right, we're gonna move on.